Man, I'm so hungry. I'm glad I have this sandwich. It has all four macromolecules: proteins, lipids, carbohydrates, and sugars.
This is Catherine. She likes sandwiches. Let's call this sandwich, Benny. And with this bite, Benny begins his adventure in the digestion system. Three, two, one, go! The first part of the digestive system occurs in the mouth. As Catherine chews, she breaks down particles of Benny in a process called mastication. She then secretes saliva from her salivary glands, which contains an enzyme called amylase, which begins the chemical breakdown of Benny's starch. After Benny is chemically and mechanically broken down, Kat is able to swallow him, and the reason she doesn't choke is because of the epiglottis, a little flap that closes once the muscles in the back of her mouth push Benny down her throat. Benny goes down the esophagus through muscle contractions called peristalsis. Peristalsis is a contraction of circular and longitudinal muscles. The longitudinal muscles squish and contract Benny, who is now a bolus, and the circular muscles propel him downward. This is why you can swallow when you are upside down. Benny the bolus is now at the stomach. The mechanical digestion includes the contractions of the stomach. The stomach is lined by gastric pits that release the chemicals and juices. This in turn creates an acidic environment that kills harmful bacteria. As well, the chemical breakdown is caused by the release of an enzyme called pepsin.
I've been waiting for you.
That breaks down the proteins of Benny the bolus, and hours later, he is transformed into Benny the chyme. Stomach acid containing the hormones CCK and secretin signals to the pancreas to produce digestive juices and enzymes for the breakdown of Benny. Oh my gosh, would you look at that? Benny the chyme is now at the first part of the small intestine, the duodenum. He moves through it by peristalsis, the same process used in the esophagus. That there's processes occurring in the small intestine that result in the digestion of starch and transport of the products of digestion to the liver? Isn't that crazy? This is where pancreatic amylase and lipase digest carbohydrates and fats, while trypsin digests polypeptides into amino acids. In the later parts of the small intestine, the jejunum and ileum absorb the main food nutrients through the villi. The villi are small finger-like projections of the wall on the small intestine, which extend into the lumen or interior space of the small intestine. The folded villi are crucial to absorption as they increase the epithelial surface area. It absorbs monomers as well as mineral ions and vitamins. He's at the large intestine! This is where you can see Benny being stripped of his water, which returns into the blood, leaving Benny as nothing but semi-solid feces. Quick fun fact! Did you know that there are 4 different types of membrane transport that help with the absorption of nutrients? In secondary active transport, glucose and amino acids are co-transported across the epithelial membrane by the active translocation of sodium ions. Certain monosaccharides, for example fructose, vitamins, and some minerals are transported by facilitated diffusion. Channel proteins help hydrophilic food molecules by passing through the hydrophobic portion of the plasma membrane. With osmosis, it is also used to diffuse water molecules in response to the movement of ions and hydrophilic monomers in both the small and large intestine. And lastly, simple diffusion is used for hydrophobic materials like lipids. At the rectum at last! This is where he is stored until forced out through the anus. Benny is free!